Let us talk about the poem The Clown's Wife by Johnson Agard. First of all, let us read the poem. The Clown's Wife. About my husband, the clown. What could I say? On a stage, he is a different person. Up there, he is a king on a throne. But at home, you should hear him moan. The moment he walks through that door without that red nose and them funny clothes, he seems to have the world on his shoulder. I do my best to cheer him up, poor soul. I juggle with eggs, I turn cartwheels, I tell jokes, I do me latest card trick. I even have a bar of his red nose. But he doesn't say exactly how he feels, doesn't say what's bothering him inside. Just sits there saying almost to himself, oh, life, ah, life, what would I do without this clown of a wife? So, throughout this poem, the writer talks about life of a middle class man. Actually, almost towards the poor side because he seems to have lots of problems in life. And throughout the poem, we see how his wife talks about the clown. The wife would like to talk about the clown, but she's wondering, what can I say about my husband? On a stage, he's a happy man, he's different, like a king on a throne. But when he comes home, he's mourning, he's sighing, he's thinking about something which she also cannot understand. The moment he comes through the door, what happens? When he doesn't have the funny clothing, when he's away from the outer space or from the outside world, he is true to himself. He's open to himself. He doesn't have anything to hide at home. So he would rather start thinking and worrying about his responsibilities. And that is like a burden on his shoulders. And the poor wife tries her best to cheer him up. Actually, she acts like a clown at home. And she uses the kind of, tricks like juggling with the eggs, turning cartwheels, telling jokes. But still, she cannot figure out why this clown is always worried. But he doesn't say exactly. The point is that there's lack of communication. He doesn't say exactly what is bothering him. Probably he doesn't want to share his sadness and the problems and make the woman or the clown's wife also very much worried. So he doesn't say anything. But in the end, the wife hears these words. Oh, life, our life, what would I do without this clown of a wife? So here actually we can see throughout the poem, the writer tries to bring out the fact that, in the society, people belong to different classes. They have different social strata and they have different economic issues, different problems. But always what matters is that if we have loving family members, we can always have at least some happiness in our lives. So, like that, the writer basically uses simple language and also sometimes questions, and also through all the symbols that he is using, the clown himself becomes a symbol of a middle class poor man who is suffering because of economic issues. So, he brings out his ideas very well. The Clown's Wife by Johnson Agard has this sense or the main idea. The poem looks at the life of the clown through the eyes of his wife. This brings out the authentic or accurate facts of his real life. The image created of the clown in the poem is very sympathetic. His poverty, his salary may not compensate for the hard work he does during his performances. The poem deals with the difference between appearance and reality and sufferings of the poor. Clown's traumatic life or the sad and troublesome life. While he's suffering, he has to put on a happy face before the audience. The poet also highlights the domestic love as a wife of the clown does everything to please the husband. As themes, the writer brings out life, happiness, appearance is deceptive. Like you can't look at the appearance of a person and say he's happy, or you can't look at the way he just behaves at office in the public sphere and say he's such a person, he doesn't have problems. So appearance can be deceptive. The techniques are monologue. The wife is talking. simple language, and visual imagery. So as a model question, after studying the poem, you can think about this. Johnson Agard voices the troubles of a common man while showing how difficult life is for a poor man in Clown's Wife, right? So the key words are troubles, common man, difficult life. So throughout the poem, all the words actually show the sadness of the clown, and the sadness and the worry of the wife are all combined and connected with the fact that the clown has troubles. The clown symbolizes a common man. So what are his problems? He's trying very hard and does all the performance. He has a smile and all the jokes in the world, but he might not be getting what he wants. A kind of a considerable amount is not being given to him as salary. So whenever he comes home, he's bored. He has issues to solve. He may be having children, family matters, economic issues. So other than being, very sad, what can he do? He doesn't have anything to do. Life is difficult. So throughout the poem, the sadness of the clown's wife, the worry of the clown's wife, the worry of the clown himself, his kind of, sad look, the way he says, oh life, our life, all that show only one thing. These things show the troubles of a common man, again proving the fact that the society is not fair at all. There are different classes and some people suffer, whereas some people have a very good life.